I will not stop you from lunch, so, but I already experienced here what it means, when trying to show something practical. So there are particular problems. Okay, the interlinking service. I will start with motivation, the concept, use cases, architecture, then comes the demo, and what are we going to do next. Most of you will probably know this figure here from the data citation index, so it's quite obvious here that we are drowning in data, and one of the drawbacks of this is that only a few of these data are really accessible and usable. So one of the means to do this is certainly by trying to link data to articles. So the evidence of the impact on data citation rates has been shown in several publications, so this is quite obvious. But there is a but. So we're trying to link editorials, but actually what is happening, we're under the pressure of publishing articles. We're about to publish the article, but the data are more or less thrown behind. So it is not aligned to the publication of the article. So when coming to something like this here, this is a slightly better situation. So we could coordinate the editorial of the data and the editorial of the data. So then we can ensure also that a data citation finds entrance into the article, which is one of the pre-requirements that we need in order to make data citable and also usable. And this is actually what we want to have. So publication of the data as its own. So we could use journals like Scientific Data for this, but we could also use data centers like Pangea for this. And referring back to what Zoltan has said in the morning, we are not only concentrating on this here, which could be called the supplementary data or material to an article, but the extended data. So we would like to archive all of the data that has been part of the experiment or observation or measurement, whatever. Yeah? This makes actually the data reproducible, so non-filtered data. This is the first case is user practice. This one happens more and more. This one here is seldom or only applied if you have monitoring stations, monitoring data behind and all this, where archiving and publication of data is done on a regular basis on its own. Okay, this is the motivation to get a better context between journals and data centers. This is only a selection of those here. So I'm concentrating here on linking services, but certainly in order to make progress here, also linking editorials would be something preferable. The problem is linking services that by now we have a plethora of bilateral. I don't know whether this cursor here will show up. No. In the left figure, you can see plethora of bilateral linkages between journals, publishers, and data centers, which leads, with respect to maintenance of this, to nothing. So one for all service, like in the right picture, is something that we are going for. So linking all the different types here, publishers, data centers, and also added value services like bibliometric services. The use cases for this service certainly get data-related articles at the upper one, but also here, the third one from below, get article-related data sets. But there are also others, so you can also relate data sets or articles linked to an author, or you can link data to data. So this is quite a number of use cases available there, and that's the architecture. So in the middle you have the core of the system, So it's not just assembling all the linking information, but also trying to resolve the PIDs, which could be DOIs or accession numbers or whatever, and deduplication of the information, because we're getting information from multiple providers, and harmonizing the information. That is quite important to come up with a consistent picture of the information, and also to ensure the quality of the information. So the metadata content, as mentioned, the PIDs are core of the metadata, accession numbers, URLs, URIs, DOIs, relationships between the objects, so the records is very essential. So what does it mean, you know, if something is supplementary to another thing, or something only relates to another thing, or something cites another publication. So here we know from the experience of Thompson that this is so, you have to face here a nightmare of things that can happen. So misinterpretation of information is usual, is common. Yeah, and the provenance of the information is important. So data sources, providers, timestamp on the information is important. And certainly we are also going for extended meta information like citation information. Actually, this here could evolve into something what we think could be a Google Scholar for data. Okay, quality issues, already mentioned. So we can evaluate the records. We can only evaluate the records with respect to the metadata. We cannot look behind into the data, not yet. But we can evaluate the providers. When you've listened to the presentation about scientific data, there they have a list there of data providers which are having, well, data centers which are having certificates or not. So having accreditations and using mostly altmetrics, using mostly re3 data as a registry, where you can look up what the label is, what the accreditation is. So it is up to the users in the end to filter out what they want to have. Altmetrics, just to mention it, also have evolving quality indicators, but this is quite fuzzy by now. So the World Data System, the ICSU World Data System, they have an elaborated certification procedure. So the same is for the data seal of approval. They have boards which are evaluating the data centers. Okay, and the API on top of the linking service will certainly allow the filtering of all this. So now we are coming to the demonstration. Hopefully this works now. So that was actually the problem that we faced. So contributing objects, you can know you cannot see it. I can see it, but you cannot see it. So I probably have to close the PowerPoint before. No. Oh, it was here, this one. This one, okay. Okay, that's only a very draft of an interface here. So actually the linking service doesn't need the front end here, web interface. So it's what is needed is an application interface there. So here you can see, or you cannot see. I'm sorry, you're running back and forth. You know, so it's, but. changes, yes. No, not that one, it's from the Internet Explorer.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I try to be very cautious here. So yeah, you can see here who are the providers and who's contributing what. So part of this is redundant. So Pangea, for example, is registering all the data in DataCite. So we are getting here the information from multiple sources. Elsevier also is collecting data. Thomson has been collecting data, but only supplied a few of that. One of the biggest now is the Cambridge Crystallographic Data Center, but also registering within DataCite. And the contributing links here is nearly 10 times more. So also here we have to resolve, who is pointing to what. So this is one of the major tasks here with this service, to resolve this and to ensure the quality of this. So, okay, I will simply type in here something to show you how this works. So I just put in here CO2, so you can ask for something like a measurement type or an author or whatever, but this is not what you actually want. You want, from the perspective of the journal, you would like to ask for your DOI for the journal. So, and then trying to get back, what is available. So here, if you choose one of those, what you get is here the links to the data sets from this publication here. Links maybe to other publications is not inserted because we have only few data from Crossref so far. So the link one here in data sets is the one in Pangea, and if you click on this one, you see here the data set on top, and if you click on that one, you're getting actually to the article. And if you click on this one, then you're getting to the splash page of the article. So this is the idea behind this. I can show you another. Close current tab, okay. Close current tab. So certainly this does not only work with Pangea, but also with others. Cucullito forest. Oh, there's a typo. Yeah, this is actually a low-level interface, so it does not have an autocomplete. Forests. Oh. So and I would like to pick out another one here. Yeah, this one here. There you can also see what is the added value here. So you can see here the links also to other data sets. So this is something that is residing in GBIF that has been filtered out from Pangea and has got an own DOI there in GBIF. And the link to the publication here, which is one, I see that as the prefix here, 1016, is one residing in marine micropulp. It's Elsevier paper. And with Elsevier, if you click on this one here, we have the linking agreement already since 7 years or 8 years. And so when you go to the splash page of this article here, it shows on the right side if it shows, if it comes. It should. No, it does not. I don't know. There it is. Okay, so Wi-Fi is slow. So this is actually what we would like to achieve, that the data centers or data providers, that they elaborate also the way how to show up there. And this is, I think, the major selling point for the data centers as well as for the journals, if this is evident already on the splash page. So not only citations in the article, but also having something that is animated on the splash page. That, yeah. So with this, I would like to finish and switch back to the presentation, if this is possible. So as already mentioned by Evke, the consortium behind this is quite large, so I think we have all the major stakeholders behind this. And already some work has gone into this, so about 3 years of work, none regarding the work that OpenAIRE has put into this, so that goes back to maybe 5 years or so. So stakeholders here, research facilities, data repositories, universities, libraries, and industries are behind these. So the next steps, principles like openness and all this have been settled already in the last year. The governance and maintenance will be solved, I think, early next year, so we'll have a separate meeting in January on this. The implementation, so we need to pin down now the key use cases, develop tailored APIs for the consumers and services to meet these use cases. And then that's the eventual goal, certainly, to embed these services into the real life situation. So, like I've shown you with the example from Elsevier and Pangea, to make it real life, something that scientists can experience. Because in the last years we have experienced that whenever scientists have a good motivation to deliver data to Pangea, it's because of this linkage to Elsevier. So that is a major motivation. Yeah, and the implementation is powered by OpenAIRE and Pangea and ANS, the Australians, and we hope that we will be operational by September next year. So, thank you.